Yes, I do. Well, I've been doing the interviews for a while. Hello, welcome in, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Let's say hi. Let's say hi to everybody. Um, Chillin, Indiana. Carl just re-upped his membership. Thank you, Carl. Uh, Whisper to Tatum. Welcome in. Susan from the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Hello. Ariella Viking Venture and Victuals. Welcome in. Hello, Dwayne with the Urban Harvest. Hello, Tiffany with Canadian Family Life. Hello, Mona did what? And hello, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Welcome in, Vay's Place. And hello, Autumn C. How are you? Welcome in, everybody. And if you are a moderator, you're welcome to put up links of anyone in the chat and also of my person I'm interviewing today, the Budget Preppers. And be sure to pick the icon that has the black logo. Hello, Jesse Miller Unboxings and More. Hello, Jamie's Country Living. And Michael's Adventures. Hello. I am going to go ahead and start in. If you have a community tab, if you would consider sharing this live on your community tab, that would be awesome. And if I have a moderator, if you guys will put up the Budget Preppers link. Ariel, can you do that for me? Okay. Let's get started on this lengthy list here. She saw my list and she got a little nervous. She's like, oh my goodness.
Oof, we had an interview today, guys. I should have worn my Sunday's best.
Well, at the end of the day, they will know you better.
Oof.
So, how long have you been on YouTube? And this includes your other channel too, like all together.
August will be 5 years. So my main channel, Ollie, will be 5 years old in August, and we started his channel right when we got him. So 5 years in August.
5 years.
Seems like forever.
August is my 3 years.
Oof.
Tell us a little bit about your other channel, because we're going to talk about this channel mainly, but tell us a little bit about your other channel.
Yeah, so my main channel is Ollie the Monkey. Ollie is a almost 5-year-old squirrel monkey. We got him from a rescue, and he was not supposed to make it, but my husband and I are both medically retired military, and so we're home all the time, and we are able to provide 24/7 care, and Ollie needed that. He had a ton of specialty vet appointments and needed to be hand fed like every hour for like the first 2 months. It was insane. Wow. But it kind of worked out. My husband sleeps and then I'm awake, and when I'm awake he's asleep, so it kind of just like worked out where somebody was able to care for him 24/7. And he had to like have his body temperature regulated, so he pretty much was like on one of us for the first like 6 months.
Wow.
And it wasn't something where we like went out and was like looking for a monkey and wanted a monkey. I had just had my son in June. So like I had a newborn. And so that was like the last thing, like on our plate that we really needed. But it just all kind of
a pet like that, yeah, and newborn at the same time. Wow.
Yeah. It all just kind of fell into place the way it did.
Yeah. Welcome in, Ginger, Not For Nothing Homestead.
Hi, Ginger.
Welcome in, Cooking with Bobby Joe. Welcome in, Sis, Free Handly Made. Okay, I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. Okay, so, and did I spell Ollie right? Ollie?
Yep.
Just type the name in the chat. And that way, if one of the moderators could put up her other channel, Ollie the Monkey. I typed it up there. Right, I'm going to leave it up. There we go. Okay. How long have you been prepping?
Oh, geez. Well, I've been a food hoarder for a long time. So I call it food hoarding because I have definitely always geared more towards like the food preservation, the canning, the dehydrating, that side of it. I've been doing that probably 15 years, like early 20s, right after I got out of active duty is kind of when it like went full blown. And then when I started having kids, then it like even got worse. So, because then, you know, you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your family, and then kind of evolved into, you know, well, if we lose power, if we lose this, you know, my needs kind of shifted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you say was like the reason you started it? Was it something you saw in the military, or like with me, my example is, you know, the sickness that went down that starts with a C, you know, the toilet paper shortage, the food shortages. That's what opened my eyes to everything, because we literally almost ran out of toilet paper. We didn't, but we almost did. And so that made me start thinking about stuff like that. So that's kind of when I started doing it, even though I don't make a lot of videos about it. I have made some videos in the past about it. But anyway, so that's my answer. And I'm sure yours is totally different than mine.
Mine kind of goes back to, I grew up in Ohio, and, you know, we had a lot of storms and stuff. So we would lose power for a week. So it's always kind of been in my brain or in the backside, you know, always be prepared for something. But it was more like weather based. And then after my military experience, then it kind of went into, okay, well, if something does go south, it can go south very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it just kind of gradually grew into what it is today.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, before I started my channel, I watched a lot of prepping channels. Now I have a little bit less time. I do watch some prepping channels, but they're, you know, like we're following each other kind of thing.
Right.
I don't have time to just watch them just because, you know, I follow the smaller channels, really. You know, most of the channels I follow are under 14,000. And really the ones I'm following that big are because I knew them when they were 700.
Right, right.
Anyway, what state are you in?
I am in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Because the weather's great down here. Much better than Ohio. That's right, Ginger. If something goes south, we have garlic jelly. And I will tell you, there's already 2 jars of that thing gone.
Yeah.
My mom came and she took one.
I saw the video
we ate one.
Garlic jelly, and I was wondering what all you use it for. I'm thinking it would be good on like bread, like a bagel or something.
Mm-hmm. So we actually used it in like for like a cheese board and with crackers, and it was delicious. But you could do it on that or on like a burger or to marinate like chicken in.
That sounds good. Hello, Ed's Crazy Homestead. Welcome in.
Hey, Mommy.
Oh, she's in Ohio. Okay.
That's a good question. Vay's got one. What is your opinion on the difference between homesteader and prepper? So I personally didn't name my channel anything with homesteading in it because I just personally felt like homesteading meant more of the animal side of it, you know, growing food for your animals and having animals and livestock. And so I kind of went more for the prepper route because I don't have anything other than chickens. I don't have livestock. I'm in town, so I can't. So that was just that's just my personal opinion. And, you know, a lot of people tie in homesteader into what I'm doing. But that was just kind of the route I went. I just didn't feel like it fit.
Too.
Yeah.
That's why I did Gail Southern Living. It kind of just follows cooking, gardening, chickens, you know, cooking, gardening, chickens, prepping. You know, I do just a little bit of everything on my channel. What is your favorite thing to can?
My favorite thing to can? I'm going to be very honest. I'm about to put out a video where I'm literally tossing my canner in the trash. Because I don't enjoy canning anymore. Now that I have a freeze dryer, it is so much easier to put stuff in the freeze dryer than it is to stand in front of the stove and watch the canner for 3 hours and then pull the jars out. One of the jars exploded. Now you've got a mess. So I'm going to be honest. The only thing I have canned this year is the tomato sauce, green beans, the garlic jelly, and some strawberry jelly. And that's it. And usually by now,
canning, or were those water bath canning?
some were water bath, but I do pressure canning as well. But I just honestly am just at the point now where it's no fun to can.
Yep.
It used to be fun, but it's not anymore.
I like the honesty there. That's good. What is your favorite thing to freeze dry?
Honestly, everything. But I can say that the easier things are things that you use all the time. So the produce, meats, having freeze-dried cooked meat already is like a lifesaver for days when I don't feel good. I just pull off a can of freeze-dried taco meat and there's dinner. It's just so much more convenient.
Is it kind of like dehydrating where you have to kind of reconstitute it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so what all kinds of meat have you freeze-dried?
Ground turkey, chicken, regular turkey, pork, tuna, shrimp. Trying to think what else. We try to do as much as we can. Like the machine pretty much runs nonstop.
Yeah. I would like to have one. I might invest in one in the future.
It's so worth it. So worth it.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever freeze-dried?
Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos.
My husband wanted me to try to freeze dry hot Cheetos, and so I did, and they were terrible. They were the worst thing. They tasted just like you would out the bag.
Oh, right. Wow. Well, I don't have a freeze dryer, but I did dehydrate marshmallows one time. And then one of the homesteading farm type channels asked me, he's like, why would you dehydrate marshmallows? I said, well, okay, after a while, marshmallows get sticky. Mm-hmm. And if you dehydrate them, they're like candy. So they're hard and they'll last longer. And you can use them for your hot chocolate. And if the world were to go crazy and you had some in there, you could eat it almost like candy. So
I'm going to have to try some freeze-dried marshmallows.
That was fun. I just saw somebody else do it, and I thought, ooh, that looks fun. I want to try that. I also wanted to take the time to mention that the Fall Fest 23 giveaway is coming up, and I'm going to have my video out announcing that officially on July 17th. And the videos would need to start going up between August 1st and 11th. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know if you're considering joining. Everybody that's going to join, I'm going to give them a number, and they'll present that number when they email me and when they send me their semifinalist name. So if you have questions, you're welcome to start emailing me about that. I noticed you had a recipe for Great Depression chocolate cake. What is the difference between that recipe and a regular cake recipe?
The Great Depression one has no milk, no butter, no eggs, and no oil.
So it's basically flour, water.
Yep, there was not a lot in it.
Yeah,
not a lot in it, but it was tasty. My kids ate it. I even bought a can of like frosting that off camera I could put on for the kids to finish the cake. It never even ended up on the cake. They ate it without it.
Oh, you thought it wouldn't be good enough and you'd need to put icing for them to eat it.
Yep. They ate it anyways. Yep.
Sometimes simple things are best.
Yes.
So you do some gardening, right?
Maybe too much.
Yes. Too much gardening? I do more of the gardening in the summer, spring, summer, and then in the winter, the fall, winter, I do more like cooking and preserving, because people are preserving food in the summer, and I never understood in the winter, and I'm like, wouldn't you have that stuff in the summer? It seems like you'd be doing it early fall because you just finished your harvest, so you'd be trying to still put all that food up. But so what was my question? Oh, how long have you been gardening?
Oh, a while. A while. probably 10, 12 years.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good amount. Let's see. What is your favorite thing to grow in the garden?
My favorite and my least favorite is honestly the same thing, and that's tomatoes. I like growing them.
Tomatoes one year. It was difficult.
I like growing them because there's so many different things you can do with them. Tomato sauce, ketchup, barbecue, tomato paste. I like the variety, but I dislike doing it because I really don't like the peeling of the tomato. I don't like when you have to can them and peel the tomatoes and it's all hot. So I don't like that. But now with a freeze dryer, I might not have to do any canning of tomatoes this year. So
yeah,
hopefully.
So you just purchased it this year?
October of last year. Yes. So this will be my first growing season with it. And let me tell you, it's already got squash, zucchini, cucumber. It's already got a whole bunch of stuff in it. Oh yeah, that's not too far. That's not too far, Ginger.
How is your weed barrier going? Is it working well for you?
Yeah, so this is the first year that we've invested in doing a weed barrier. Typically, we just kind of tried to weed, but this year we expanded the garden a lot, probably tripled it in size. And I know that with my disabilities and my lupus that I cannot be out in the sun all day weeding the garden. So we did budget in the weed barrier. And so far, it has done really, really well. Like that is definitely something we will invest in next year. We didn't get anything crazy. We didn't get like a super thick material that you can reuse or anything like that. It was like literally just like the Walmart brand of weed barrier, but it worked.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you had any unusual things about your weather this summer? Because I've noticed some people noticing it's hotter or cooler or rainier in their climate. So have you noticed anything specific about your weather?
Yes, we have had a lot more storms, like a lot more pop-up storms. So like you'll look at the weather and it'll be like great weather all day. And then all of a sudden we're like having hail and T-storms, you know, and we're under tornado warnings. And I try not to run my freeze dryer if I know that there could be a power outage because I don't want to lose what's in the freeze dryer. You know, I don't want it to stop half cycle. So
yeah,
that's not been fun, is to trying to track when the weather is going to be bad, when it's not, you know. Right now it's not running because we're supposed to have a T-storm tonight. But if it doesn't happen, then I just really wasted hours of not running my freeze dryer.
Yeah, that would stink for it not to finish its cycle. In Texas, we've had, we usually get our triple digit weather in July. This year we got some of that in June. So I've pretty much been twice a day watering like forever. Yeah, it's crazy. But if I don't, I go outside and the squash and the pumpkins and the loofah and the pickling cucumbers are wilting on me. And I did actually have one section of the zucchini that actually died, and I went ahead and cut them down, and guess what? It's growing back. So who knew that?
Nice.
I never cut them down like that far before, but I was cutting out the dead section just thinking, well, maybe the plants around it will just grow over it. Well, it started coming back. So it just wanted a little haircut, apparently.
Huh. Thankfully, we don't have to water twice a day. That would be very sad.
Yeah, I am doing it right now because I'm terrified it's going to die. Well, last year I had a really bad gardening year because we had a really bad hailstorm that knocked a bunch of my stuff down. And then after that happened, I kind of got discouraged. And this year I decided I was going to be relentless. No matter what happened, I was just going to keep going, right?
Yes.
If something happened, I was just going to plant some more. So I mean, I have plenty of seeds. There's no point in just giving up. Just keep planting seeds because it's Texas. Even if I planted it now, I would give a harvest before our last frost date, technically. Even all the way through the end of July, I would still get it. And even if I planted something in August, it could grow all the way up until that point, and it could almost be like your fall winter. And there's a few things I want to do. I've not done fall winter gardening yet, but I think this year I'm going to do a small fall garden.
This will be my first year doing a fall garden. But that's because, like Texas, the growing season is just so long that by the time it gets done, you're just done.
Tired,
You're tired of it. Yeah.
just
So
gonna
I've
do a
never
fall
done.
section. And the other sections, because as it starts cooling off, I start getting ready for composting. As a matter of fact, I've actually already started shredding the paper.
Mhm.
I shred paper and mail, anything not plasticky, and like toilet paper rolls. I'll cut them in half and shred those. And so I'm getting my paper shreds ready and all my other stuff together, because I know it's time, as soon as things start dying, just to start going ahead and composting. So
Yep. Well, this is my composter right here. It's the worm composter. So we put everything in there and the worms do their job.
I have considered doing that, but I have not done it yet.
It's super easy. And people think, oh, that's gross. You got worms in your house, but it doesn't smell. So
yeah, that's always good. Yeah. I noticed that you planted it in a laundry basket, and I did that this year myself. And I didn't know how I was going to go because there's so many holes in it.
Mhm.
But finally, the tomatillas started growing in that laundry basket. And I only had one, and it was I believe it's a strawberry tomatilla. So it's finally coming up. So I don't know if it will have time. It might. I think it might. Do you have any collabs that you're planning on joining?
At the moment, no. I need to check out yours and see if that is something I can work into my schedule. The Fall Fest.
Yeah, basically it's one video. It's one video, 3 to 5 minute video, just saying that you're going to join. If you don't even want to call out the rules in your video, you can just copy paste my rules into the description box. And then you could even make it 2 minutes if you wanted to. The only reason I said 3 minutes is because Kevin from Tuber Chat says your video needs to be 3 to 5 minutes for the friendship to last. So that's why I suggested 3 to 5 minutes. Because I noticed another collab was saying they wanted their videos to be under 3 minutes long. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work, because it needs to be long enough for that to. But anyway, let's see.
Other than that one, though, I don't have anything on the schedule at the moment, but I am open to collaborations.
Yes, I'm glad
our schedule is going to be picking up here. With the kids.
I know the Inquisitive Farm Wife, I believe, is doing a air fryer collaboration for August. So I don't know if it's okay for me to say this, but hopefully it is. If you're interested in joining that collab, email her. So anybody, she asked me if I had one, and if I was interested, I said sure. Oh, let's see. How is your watermelon plants doing? I heard you say something about watermelon, your garden.
Yes. So we planted in 2 different sections, and that's because that section is all the new stuff that we tilled up this year. So it's kind of terrible soil, to be honest. It's very bad soil. We just didn't add enough to it to like really get the levels of everything right. So the ones that we planted off to like the right-hand side are not doing good. They're still alive, but they're just not doing great. And then the ones that we planted along the fence line have now started to vine up the fence line. So actually should probably go out tonight and see if we've got any starting.
I need to go check mine out really, really closely.
Yep.
I joined the IBG, which is the Indiana Backyard Gardener seed swap this year. I sent in 6 packs of seeds and got back 32. So I tried a bunch of different stuff, and that was really exciting. I don't know why I started that conversation, because what I wanted to talk about was I know what it was. Right in the middle of my zucchini, I received some from the seed swap, and it was supposed to be zucchini, and everything else was zucchini. And all of a sudden, I started getting this white-looking gourd thing. I'm like, what is that? Finally discovered it's pumpkin.
That's funny.
I have 2 pumpkin plants in the middle of my zucchini bed. So I have 2 pumpkins I would say about a medium size. in my zucchini. And I also planted regular pumpkins in my wild garden. And in the back of my yard, I have regular pumpkins and giant pumpkins that I received from suburban Homestead, Wyoming. Welcome in Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. Hello, Alfonso. Did I miss anybody else? Hello, Nancy, our treasured home.
Hi, Nancy. I was watching her live earlier.
I always forget she is alive on Sunday. But like I said, I've had company, so I haven't been in anyone's live really. So okay.
I know Tiffany at Canadian Family Life. I think she goes live later today too.
Oh, does she?
I think so.
Usually on Sundays after my live, I go straight into Garden State Gardener's live. But he's not been live because he's doing Obering for the summer. So I'm thinking he'll probably pick back up in like September. So hopefully I moderate for him, and he's one of my friends. So let's see. How many years have you been growing your raspberries and blackberries?
This will be year 2 for those.
We already have a harvest?
This year is our first really big harvest. Last year we did not get like anything off of them, and we planted a bunch of blueberries too, and those all died. Last year's weather just
hot. Was it really hot?
Yeah, and it was just really inconsistent. So it was hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
What do you use your comfrey for?
That's a good one. So I actually make a salve with it, and it's like a bug bite salve.
Oh.
I haven't put a bunch of like herbal recipes up on the website yet, but that is definitely in the works, is to do that, because I like to make a lot of tinctures and stuff out of all of the herbs. So that's definitely coming to the website once I probably winter time is when I like to do more of that, because I'm not worried about like having to harvest stuff off the counter.
Yeah, you have to water and weed and harvest and try to figure out how to put up food and stuff like you don't have all that. So yeah, I'll be working on harvesting seed, and I harvested my ground cherry seeds yesterday, and they're so tiny, and they're sticky, gooey on the inside, like a tomato. So the seeds are trying to stick together. I'm like, I'm going to let them dry longer and see if maybe they'll not be so sticky. But, I mean, I don't want to wash them. They're so tiny. I don't know.
Yeah, with like strawberries, we peel off of the top part because the seeds are all in the top, and then, or like on the skin, and then we let it dry in the sun. And then you can essentially just use your finger and all the seeds are right there, because everything else around it dried.
Sorry. Have you gotten in on any of the seed swaps since you started this?
I haven't. I should, though.
I would suggest next year, if you're not following Indiana Backyard Gardener, to follow her and get in on her seed swap. Because like I say, I sent in 6. We only were required to send in 3. I sent in 6 and some stamps. She sent me back 32 varieties of seed. And on that, I put a wish list. We were supposed to put a wish list of 10 items. I put 10 items. I got back 9 out of 10 items.
You said it's Indiana Backyard Gardening?
In Indiana Backyard Gardener. Hello, Sally Homer.
Okay.
I'm recommending it to everybody because it is awesome. I heard other people talk about their seed swaps, and this one just blew out of the water. I mean, she literally traded her seed for seed other people wanted. I mean, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any animals on your property?
I have a lot of animals.
A lot of animals.
So I've got obviously the monkey, and then we've got 3 dogs, 8 or 9 chickens. 8 or 9 hens at the moment, and then we have a rabbit, And we also do foster kittens, which this is our last set of foster kittens for quite a while. This is going to be our last set of those. But
we had a stray cat we were feeding, and she kept having litters, but
oof.
she finally passed away. So
Aw.
no more kittens. It's kind of sad, but we have enough. So, do you have a question for me?
Not that I can think of.
You can think of.
Not off the top of my head.
I know. I usually email that question that you can ask me a question at the end, but I forgot to do that this time. But
she caught me off guard. Yeah,
I know you can't believe it, but I got through all the questions.
Did you really? That's crazy.
Shocking. But I did.
Woo.
See, I just go through them quick. You answer a question, I go to the next one and the next one. And occasionally I skip around, but I don't like to do that because then I'll lose track of what I'm doing. But thank you for coming on. And if you guys are not subscribed to Natashia with the Budget Preppers, please go by and check her out. I'm going to make sure to have her link in the description box of this live. Also, if I have a moderator, if you guys would throw up her link. Matter of fact, I can do that real quick. Let me go into my own live. I thought I already had it in there, but
See, that's the advantage of having two channels, is you can share your content with your other content.
yeah, I mean, I could still share on my other channel, but I haven't lately. Let's see. But I do keep my phone with me in case I want to do moderating.
That's definitely important because
Okay.
sometimes
They just asked a question about animals. I wonder if she asked that right before I asked the question. I'm surprised I waited till the end to ask that. That's usually a little further up on the list, but that's usually my husband throws in a couple of questions, but he didn't get to do that this time because I wrote all the questions myself. I didn't need any help. I had plenty of questions of my own.
There you go.
So, okay, I'm going to pull up your link real quick.
She was asking you, how many animals do you have?
Oh, me. I have 16 chickens, 1 fish, and 4 cats.
Oh, I've got fish too. I forgot about the fish. The fish are a new addition.
Oh, I'm getting her link ready. If you guys have any more questions, if you'll put them in the chat right now, we'll have her answer those before she leaves.
Fire away.
Okay. I wanted to make sure to get your link in. So if you guys aren't friends with her, if you would check her out, tell her you came from Gail's live, that would be awesome.
Check out the garlic jam recipe.
Garlic
That seems
jam.
to be a hit.
Yeah, I bet that's good stuff.
It was way too good. It's like get you in trouble good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't need any more recipes like that. I mean, I got like zucchini coming out of my ears right now and cucumbers now, and the tomatoes have just started. Where we plant the tomatoes is like right on a wall. And hubby's already put up T-posts there, so I don't want to move it. So they grow slower. But, I mean, we're getting them now. I have like a couple of San Marzanos and a bunch of cherries right now. That's what I have. So
We've got our spoon tomatoes are coming off, but none of our big ones have turned red yet.
Some people have had tomatoes for a really long time.
I know. What is up with that? Here has not, because I even reached out to my friend and was like, am I just behind, or are you getting tomatoes yet? And she was like, I'm not getting tomatoes yet either. So
I don't know how the people who get them are getting them, unless they start their tomato plants. But it seemed like they would get too leggy if you did that, if you had them under the grow light all winter. I do want to try that, though. I want to try a cherry tomato under the grow light just to see how far
you
would
can take them
grow under the grow light. And I actually have, it's like an old-fashioned baker's rack, like from the 80s. And it's a top section and there's a bottom section. And I want to get a second grow light so there'll be a lot of space for a cherry tomato plant to get big. And you could even do a pretty good sized pot under there and still have plenty of room for it. So I totally want to try that.
I've got all of my fall stuff is going to go under the grow light. I do have a greenhouse, but it's just so hot right now. I don't want to fry everything. So we're going to use the grow light for that and then move them outside.
Lots of tomatoes, but they're still green.
That's how ours are.
I have some green and some orange, and I have picked probably my first 2 regular sized tomatoes and maybe 12 cherries.
Mater sandwiches are coming.
I know. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
It's fun right now. I'm hoping I have some that are regular tomatoes too. I have another section where there's some Bitter Boy tomatoes. I'm hoping those will get. But it seems like the sweet when it's either a sweet 100 or sweet 1000. I'm getting confused on that because everybody's calling it different. But
right,
those are coming up so well. There's just so. I feel like all of them are going to turn red at the same time, and I'm going to have 50 million cherry tomatoes. I mean,
I know.
That's what's going to happen.
Sitting right there with you. We got. I was trying to see what the brand was that. These ones are the ones that we are getting a ton of right now. It's the spoon tomatoes.
Oh, well, those are cool.
They're by Baker's Creek, and they're like you can literally put like 50 of them in your hand. But my monkey loves them because they're just tiny enough that he can just.
Aw.
And the kids love them because they can just pop them in their mouth. But those are the only ones that I have that are coming up right now.
Yesterday, I harvested my first ground cherries, and this is my second year. The first year, it didn't go so well. I didn't really get any, but anyway, they are a very unique flavor. And it's funny because we had a table full of company, and everybody at the table tried them, and everybody said they tasted like a different thing.
That's
I
crazy.
said pineapple. Some people said orange. Somebody said green beans. Somebody said tomato.
That's a lot of variety. That's not even like one genre.
There's probably 5 other things that they said, and I'm like, mine was pineapple. To me it tastes like pineapple and pear. That would be my best guess. But I'd like to do a little short video, showing them and talking about them and see what everybody else says they taste like. Because I've never seen such a broad range of things for people to say. And up until this point, I was just curious because Lori's World had the videos on ground cherries and Simply Jan Homestead had the videos on ground cherries. I was like, what are these ground cherries? So finally, people could say, what do they taste like? I don't know yet. Now I can say pear and tomato. I mean, pear and pineapple. Yeah. But you should have seen their faces when they were trying. Everybody was trying to instantly figure out what it tasted like to them.
I would be curious what my kids would be thinking.
Yep. So I am pretty much done with the interview. You guys check out the Budget Prepper. Her link is up ahead. We got one more question before we close.
The bees, yes. So I just got I got sponsored by Kind Bees Farms. They are leaf cutter bees, and so they're very docile and they don't sting, and they're like really good pollinators. So, oh, thanks, nice. So they came in this little box. And they have everything with it. They've got like their little house and everything, but they come in this little box. And so they're sleeping right now. They're just like in little cocoon type things. It takes about 1 to 3 weeks, depending on what temperature you have them in. So we're actually going to be putting them outside probably tonight. We were waiting for the storm. And then they've got their own little house. Isn't that just the cutest little thing?
Adorable.
I love it. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to have pollinators. At one point, we wanted to get our own bees, but we just didn't have the spacing to have the box set up and everything, and the kids were really little. So no, they don't do honey. They're mainly for pollination.
Huh. That's neat. I never heard of those.
Yeah, they're super cool. And this kit is like $70. and they last all season. Like it's super cheap and affordable, and they don't have to have, like a crazy amount of space or anything. Just as long as they're somewhere near your garden, they will go and pollinate it for you.
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
Awesome. Have you noticed any crickets in your garden?
In the garden? No. We are having a problem with the beetles, the like June beetles, I think is their actual name. They are everywhere, and they're terrible for your garden. And we've got a couple different, that's actually another video coming out here later this week. It's just, there's so many of them. I don't even know what to do with them this year. This year's just been the worst year for those. I don't want to go through and spread a whole bunch of, chemicals and stuff all over, because that kind of defeats the purpose of gardening.
Exactly. You might as well go to Walmart and buy your vegetables.
Yep.
If you're going to throw poison all over them.
Yep. So it's kind of a fine line on what to do about that.
The black caterpillars.
Oh, see, we haven't had any tomato worms. We haven't had any. My husband said he did see some squash bugs yesterday.
They're mostly on the sunflower leaves.
They've
attacked my regular sunflowers. Most of them were volunteers, except for the section of my mammoth sunflowers. I did get those from the seed swap from Grace and Fire.
Okay, yeah.
They're still growing, but I've had to cut the leaf. Like if I see the leaf is infested with a bunch of those worms, I just cut the leaf off and throw it over the back fence. Or sometimes I'll cut the leaf off. If it's only a couple, I'll cut the leaf off and just squish it with my shoe. I'm like on the hunt for
Yep,
And I was really worried that those caterpillars, because I had deal that was like this tall this year.
That's how mine is this year.
And I was really worried that the caterpillars on those, which were a different kind, not the black ones, a different kind. I was worried that they were going to attack my ground cherries over here before I got to try them. And I had already harvested the dill and dehydrated and made my ranch dip and have some.
Yes, the ranch dip.
And so I cut it all down and got rid of it because I was like, I don't need you attacking my ground cherries over here before I get to try them. I was really, really wanting to be able to try them this year. So
that's crazy.
They were too close for comfort for me. I was like, no. Hello, Huga Homestead. How are you? So anyway, I did finally get to try my ground cherries, so I'm happy about that.
But you still have no idea what they taste like. Isn't that the funny part? That's the funny part.
You've ever had. So if anybody is interested in having ground cherry seeds, I'm going to put this out there. You can email me at my email, gailsouthernliving@yahoo.com. I thought I had my banner up, but I don't know where it's at. I thought I had it up with my email. There you go.
There it is.
I'll put it up. Okay, there you go. So if you're interested in getting some ground cherry seeds, I believe I'm going to have plenty.
Woohoo.
So email me. I'll send you at least, well, really you need quite a bit to get some up. So just be very patient with them. You could plant a whole pack of 30 and get like 2 or 3.
Wow.
So just don't, if you plant 30, don't expect to get 30. You're not going to get 30, okay? Because, yeah, it's just not going to happen. But, yes, if you'll send me an email, I will put you on a list, and I will send out ground cherries to you guys because I'm going to have plenty of seed. It's a little tedious to harvest, but it's worth it. I'll do that. Hello, Dawn, your doll. Welcome in. All right, so we are done for today. Thank you, Natashia, for coming in. Thank you guys all for joining in on the live. And like I said, email me at this email if you're interested in ground cherry seeds, and I'll get those sent out to you.
Or in your collaboration too, because you did mention that as well.
Yes, for the if you have decided you want to join Fall Fest 22 giveaway, if you'll send me an email, I will give you a number and you will be officially entered because everyone who's in it needs a number. And that's the number that you're going to put in your regarding line to tell me who you are. And you're going to put it when you pick your winner next to the name of the winner so we can keep everything kind of straight, hopefully. So that's the goal. Anyway, you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate all of you. If you're interested in having an interview with me, please email me at this email address. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming in.